Good morning. It's Sunday, the Lord's Day. I know we've made it through another week, and here we are upon the first day of the week. I hope everybody's able to worship today. I hope everybody's doing well. You know, this past week, I've seen quite a bit on social media as far as things that people are saying, as far as getting offended about what people say or things that they've said in the past. However, you know, we as Christians, we have to be careful what we say. And that's pretty much where I'm coming from this morning for this message this morning from Colossians chapter 4, verses 5 and 6. And then we'll end up in Proverbs 18 at the 21st verse. Let's get started right quick. It says in Colossians chapter 4, starting at the 5th verse, walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Let your speech always be with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. Now, what does that really mean? Well, it's simple. Just as we would use salt or other spices to season our food. I know a personal favorite of mine is Lowry's seasoning salt, but it makes it taste a little bit better. You put some thought into it. And that's what we should do with our words. Be careful what you say or how you say it. Because a lot of times the message is not received that you're trying to give because of how you say it, the words that you may use. And you know what? Sometimes we can be our own worst enemy just because we haven't seasoned our words with grace. Are we speaking to build up and edify? Are we speaking to someone else to pull them down or to break up something? You see, the thing that we have to get here is this. Sometimes, even with our best intent, we sometimes say things that we shouldn't say. Doesn't mean we're a bad person. It just means we are human. We made a mistake. We shouldn't have said something a certain way. But now when that becomes a habit, that's different. Okay? Now, someone who habitually makes the mistake of saying harsh things, that's just a part of their nature. That's just simply part of their nature. But they still can correct it. We can't use our freedom of speech that we may have from God first and then from this country. We can't use that as a cloak of maliciousness to say whatever we want to say to someone. Because what we say can hinder that very person from getting closer to Christ. And trust me, there will be consequences for doing such. Another thing that we need to remember here is this. We may have the freedom of speech, but we are not free from the consequences of our words. Because once we say those words out of our mouths, we can't take them back. They can only be forgiven, not forgotten, by the person we said those words to. Now, yes, when somebody says something to us that we don't like or it hurts us or offends us, that doesn't necessarily make it wrong. Now, the way they said it may have been wrong, but sometimes, unfortunately, the truth hurts. But it's better to speak the truth that hurts someone and then heals them. It's making them better. But we should not speak to someone or anyone in the fashion of just specifically to hurt them. What is the motive behind our speech? And if we will taste our words before they come out, we'll do a lot better in drawing people to Christ. And also, we'll do a lot better with getting an understanding with whoever we're speaking with. As I mentioned before, we're going to go to Proverbs 18:21. Let's see what it says. Now, it says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Now, as I said just a minute ago, we're not free from the consequences of our word because, words are free. We can say what we want to, but we're not free from those consequences. And we as Christians must be careful what we say and how we say it, because we're supposed to walk in wisdom, with those that are without, meaning without on the outside of the church. Now, how is it that we're supposed to want to draw people in and get them closer, and for them to get closer to Christ and hopefully end up in the waters of baptism, if we're just saying any and everything that comes to our mind? It's going to be hard to get them to believe that we're any different when we're behaving like the rest of the world. So there again, let your words always be seasoned with grace. Speak the truth in love. That doesn't mean you can't tell them what is going on or correct them. It just simply means do it out of love, not out of spite, not out of any reason or any motive that is not Christ-like. I hope y'all have a great week. Like, share, comment, and we'll see you again if it be the Lord's will. Y'all have a good Sunday.